we've raised about $6 million historically.
Scaled a credit score improvement app to millions of users, is that right?
That's correct. We've been really focused on delivering a solution. We slowly started to drive our price point down as we brought on more customers. Once we got like 10,000 reviews on the App Store, I think that's when we were like, oh, wow, this is like legit. Algorithm starts working and it recommends the product.
What advice would you give to them?
Don't do a web app. Go straight to mobile.
Why is that? Hi there, are you the co-founder and CEO of Doubly, Nirit Rubenstein?
I am.
Well, fantastic. So, Nirit, I'm trying to improve my credit score, and I saw that you started and scaled a credit score improvement app to millions of users, is that right?
That's correct, yes.
Well, it had me thinking, what made you want to help people improve their credit scores in the first place, and how did you get started with this?
Both my co-founder and I are immigrants, and we came to the US and saw our parents basically come and have to start all over again. So I think that's kind of the driver. And then we both had experience in consumer credit and just saw how broken the system was and wanted to create an app that helps people regardless of where they are in their credit journey.
Wow. And so how long ago was this?
This was about 6 years ago.
And how
we met, my co-founder and I met over 10 years ago. We had the idea over 10 years ago, but we started Doubly about 6 years ago.
So talk to me about going through that development process and actually getting things off the ground. What was that experience like for you?
Painful. We've been really focused on delivering a solution that was ideally free to customers, but in the beginning we couldn't offer it for free because it was costing us money to actually deliver the product. So we started off with a product that was the cheapest in the market, and then we slowly started to drive our price point down as we brought on more customers, and we were able to negotiate with the credit bureaus to get credit reports for cheaper. And so we've been just working at it ever since. We started with a web app, which was probably a huge mistake in retrospect, but it really wasn't until we started with our mobile app that things started to pick up.
Was that the moment, was starting the app the big milestone where you were like, wow, this is real? Or what was that moment?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like we launched it and overnight it turned into real, but I think once we got 10,000 reviews on the App Store, I think that's when we were like, oh wow, this is legit. Yeah. And then the algorithm starts working and it recommends the product and everything just started working in sync at that point.
Incredible. So you've helped users boost their credit scores by millions of points at this point.
Yeah.
What was the biggest user acquisition lever that you were pulling throughout this process?
I wouldn't say that there's one. We work with a lot of partners. So we work, for example, with neobanks, and they bring us a lot of traffic. But we do a lot of influencer and paid media. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's really what helped us kind of really take off when we started some of the direct media and paid influencer campaigns.
What was the learning process like when you were launching all these different initiatives, whether it was paid ads or organic marketing or the influencers? How many different things did you have to try before you could optimize and kind of narrow it down to what was working?
Tons. I mean, there's so many different channels. We test a lot, right? Different language, different channels, different conversion points, different price points, different everything. We're constantly testing, and what works today may not work in 3 weeks from now, right? So you have to keep iterating. And I would say the most important thing is to just be very data driven and make sure you're on top of your metrics so that when things are shifting, you're on top of it and you can shift too. That's really been the key.
What was one thing that you guys tried that didn't necessarily work out the way you wanted it to?
We're still trying, but it's DSP, which is demand side platform.
Mm.
Yeah, we have just not found that to be helpful at all, which is frustrating because a lot of our competitors try it, and so we're wondering either we're doing something wrong or we're just much more ROI focused than they are. But it just seems to be taking value away from our other channels. It doesn't seem to be driving incremental.
Now, were you all bootstrapped from the start, or were you funded?
No, so we've raised about $6 million historically, but we've not raised in over 4 years now.
What was that process like going through the fundraising for all the newer founders out there that are trying to go and start that process from scratch? What advice would you give to them?
Yeah, I mean, we've been through it all, right? We went through really easy raising, different periods where it's just been founder friendly and really easy to raise money. We were raising during COVID. In the beginning of COVID, it was near impossible to raise money. So we've kind of been through it all. I would say just pick the investors wisely. You want to make sure that you're working with people you want to have a very long-standing relationship with. The best advice I would give is pick the people you're working with more than the valuation and the terms. I think that's more important.
Incredible. So let's go back to just in general, from a growth standpoint, just launching a new product. What would you go back and tell yourself back when you first got started? Something that you may have not realized, but maybe knowing what you know now, let's say.
Don't do a web app. Go straight to mobile.
Why is that?
It just doesn't, I mean, like 95% of members these days are people these days are on their mobile phone. And so they want a native experience. It's our mobile app users are more engaged. They see much better results. It's just a way better experience than the web app. We spent a lot of time getting our web app optimized, and it was just a complete waste of time.
Speaking of like web versus mobile, how do you prioritize user experience for your users? What are the different things that you guys look at on a monthly or weekly basis to improve that?
We look at where people are spending their time. We are constantly trying to see kind of what's out there and being done. And we listen to our customers. I mean, our customer support team is really the most important part of our business, and in a sense that it's our direct touch point with customers. And so we know what the friction points are. We know what they like. We know what they don't like. We read reviews. And so we lean a lot on our customers to kind of help us figure out where to iterate.
Amazing. So one of the last questions for you. So if I was trying to improve my credit score right now, where do I start? What do I do?
You enroll in Dovely for free.
Perfect. So people can find it on the App Store and Google Play. Where else can people keep up with your journey?
Everywhere. I mean, we're on all the social channels, TikTok, Instagram, Meta. We're everywhere.
Would you like to drop any handles for people to keep up with your journey as well?
It's just Dovely AI.
Dovely AI.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But just enroll and give it a try. It's free. And it's really the best product out there right now for anything related to your credit. We have a credit builder, we have a credit fixer, we have a protection product similar to LifeLock, and it works phenomenally well. We help people significantly. Over 30 points for free users, 80 points for paid users within less than 6 months.
Well, this is incredible. Time to go download this and get prepared to go buy a house, huh? So.
Yeah. Or a house, a credit card, anything. And just overall credit health. It's important.
It's extremely important. Well, thank you so much for answering this random FaceTime. And I'll ping you if I have any issues with my credit.
Okay.
It seems like you'd be a good person.
Good.
But thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye.